Okay.
It's a hot day and they need a little extra water.
There are a lot of animals and things outside of Chicago, in the Chicago suburbs, willing to eat a small songbird. But this brave toucan, Cherry the Toucan, will go here or anywhere to help us learn about the world around us. Here are the suburbs and outskirts of Chicago. And today, on the first episode, episode 1 of Toucan Travels, where we show you all around the world, and mainly different places in the United States, from the country to the big cities. We are going to take a look at some of the villages, towns, and small cities on the outskirts of Chicago, and learn a little bit about them. Along the way, Cherry the Toucan will come with us and fly and dive and plunge down to the ground in search of tasty meals and facts to pull up from the ground and bring up to us so he can learn about our city. Today's city we're going to learn about is Chicago, mainly the quiet, peaceful areas around the outside of Chicago. One thing people here are really good at is landscape. Look how neat these bushes are, shaped like boxes and cubes. They're neatly trimmed and kept nice. Right, Cherry the Toucan? Small songbirds like Cherry the Toucan can hide in them. While people may have cut down the fields and forests that once inhabited this area and took from the environment and drained it of natural resources, they gave back to the environment. There are beautiful flower gardens. They're teeming with plant and animal life, and lots of wildlife can be seen hidden on every corner. Humans didn't just bring new plants to the environment, they also brought new animals, predators and prey. Like this wild dog. Not the apex predator, but quite near. Or the wild car. Humans brought cars to the environment for means of transportation, but these wild animals hit cats, dogs, birds, and other animals, and are near the apex predator of the food chain. Small mammals, rodents, and birds are near the bottom of the food chain, but Cherry the Toucan over there is brave enough to come here. These areas are full of quiet, peaceful neighborhoods and villages. Look at all these houses. This is what a neighborhood on the outskirts of Chicago should look like, minus the tropical parrots flying in front of a screen every now and then. Many birds live outside Chicago, and animals of all kinds. There are also many homes here. Even inside these homes there are animals. These special types of man-made cliffs that we call houses are home to humans, dogs, cats, and other pets and animals, and are one of the hidden parts of the suburbs. The inside of the man-made cliffs called buildings and houses. And back out on the outside, there's a new type of environment found inside of this suburb environment. This part of a suburb is called the patio part. It consists of bee, butterfly, and hummingbird havens, where many pollinators come to get their nectar and pollen. It's also a place where humans come out and hang out and scare away the prey. These large predators often hunt in packs, and with the help of cars can catch their prey and knock them out on the streets, and vultures eat whatever they don't pick up. But it's not just homes and gardens in these suburbs either. There's something else hidden. Out in the woods and nature preserves that surround these neighborhoods, there are many animals and plants, like in this nature preserve. The tall trees right by this street provide a perfect hiding place and nesting areas for many animals. Look how tall this tree is. It's 1,692 feet high. It's not the world's tallest tree. It's sitting on top of a big hill. The tree itself, not counting the roots, is only 210 feet tall. It's still very tall. And more short trees can be found all around these areas. This is a brush pile full of brush. People may chop it down for firewood or just pile up branches that fall off trees during a storm. Birds dive in and out and use it for cover to hide from predators. It's a very nice place for birds to hide and stay hidden until the predator has passed. Did you guys just see Cherry the Toucan dive in there? You bet you did. There are also many small trees planted in suburban environments, not just large ones like this. And while people did give back to the environment, we can't forget what they took from it. Many habitats have been destroyed and littered with pollution, like keys, fire hydrants, trash, and air pollution. And let's not forget these man-made cliffs called houses that humans built, and the invasive species they unleashed, like the European starling, the house sparrow, the Quaker parrot, the toucan, and many other birds. Raised garden beds, like this one, make perfect habitats for invasive species of bugs to burrow and dig in the mulch. And where the passenger pigeons once flied and numbers that numbered up into the millions, they're now extinct. And instead of swarming with clouds of birds, the skies are clear blue and empty. Every once in a while, a small invasive songbird like Cherry the Toucan may fly by. And many native animals are being killed by animals like this car. The car is the apex predator, the dominant in the suburban outskirts city food chain. And they hit and kill many animals as they travel on animal routes built by humans to help animals, making it harder for them to catch food and easier for humans to catch them with the help of their neighboring species friends, the car. It only takes one of these cars in a few years to kill loads of deer. And unnative species of trees, like this locust tree up here, tower over the streets and block out the sunlight, preventing native plants from growing. The suckering shoots grow out into open road, making brush piles for birds. But the city comes and cleans it up, causing more habitat loss. As the brush piles these people made, they're also destroying when the city comes to clean them up, killing even the animals they brought over here that aren't from here. And all these homes are just another place where you're not going to find trees and native woodlands. The most invasive plant in this type of habitat is grass. This stuff you're looking at here, lawn grass. It covers everything and doesn't give back to people or animals. No food, no water, no berries, nuts, or seeds, just a green carpet for humans to walk on. That's it. It destroys the environment, is highly invasive, and blocks out native saplings from growing. Some people got rid of it. Instead of grass, they grow fruit and vegetables and flowers that pollinators use and are pleasing to the human eye. Humans and other animals can enjoy these areas and eat from them. But unfortunately, grass is still most of the suburbs' plants. Look at all that grass. It's just a waste of space. And it costs humans a lot more money to take care of. A big tree like this one has enough shade to save people's air conditioning bill in the summer and cleans the air. It makes perfect shady areas for picnics and memories and playtime. sort of big tree like that. But all that grass down there, it's sitting in the blazing heat. It has no shade, no benefits, no fruits, no nuts, no vegetables, nothing. What you're looking at is the full package with grass. This is all you get. One animal that loves living in this city are ants like this one. Look at them go. They're expert navigators on the many tree trunks that dot the landscape. And the homes humans built are full of food and crumbs, and also provide a warm shelter in the winter, the perfect habitat for invasive species like fire ants. Just outside Chicago, there are many beautiful neighborhoods, villages, and places you can visit. But while it may have some good like that, it's also bad. It's polluted. The air, the ground, the water, and in the stomachs of birds and fish, there's trash. And let's not forget that invasive grass that you see everywhere. Like many suburban neighborhoods in the United States, Chicago was good for the environment in some ways, but in most cases, it was terrible. It's a beautiful place with art, good food and culture, and an endangered environment needing of protection. Apex predators are made by humans, and prey is few and far between. This is the suburbs and outskirts of Chicago. But let's not forget about the art and food and culture. In the outskirts of Chicago, there's lots of great art. Check out this piece of art.
And it extends.
Yeah.
But then we frame that one. But then after two.
Check out all the beautiful art and pictures. So now you've seen a lot of the art in Chicago. But what about food? We know what people like to eat in the United States, but what good recipes and food do people have mainly for Chicago and the outskirts outside of it? People like to have coffee and donuts. Take a look at Clyde's French toast. Clyde's French toast fritter is very good. In Chicago, people have many great foods and recipes. Many families keep their food in their fridge in the kitchen, like they do in many other places in the world. Here, it is safe and kept cool because even leftovers here are good. There's lots of good food in Chicago. You just gotta know where to look. Lemon poppy seed on many muffins is something many people in Chicago have tried at least once. And don't forget, they're home to the world's largest Starbucks. They even have good things to eat for breakfast. And there are always snack stores nearby. People love to eat snacks at snack stores and gas stations on the way to Chicago. And checking in cabinets in many homes on the outskirts of Chicago, people have plenty of good things to eat and know their spices pretty well. And they're really good at designing their homes and kitchens. A simple third floor apartment with a balcony and a view of the Chicago River may be small on the outside, but inside could have many great things to offer. Look at how well designed and planned these homes are. They're clean, neat, pretty, tidy, and beautiful. And don't forget, there's plenty of good art here too. During the summer, you can lay out in the sun and relax in the garden. And in the winter, there are also plenty of water sports like snow skiing and snowboarding people do. And in the outskirts of Chicago, all these things come together. The environment, the food, the art, everything is unique here. And it adds to their culture. Here, you can see luxurious sports cars, take a walk into the nearby city, or ride your bike. Everything is just a few minutes away, and that is a very important part of culture in Chicago. What a beautiful place. Quiet and peaceful, but not too far from the hustling and bustling city. Chicago is a beautiful place where you can chill or have fun, watch the Chicago Bulls, and take a walk in the windy city. Here are some fun facts. Yes, Cherry the Toucan, we can look at some fun facts. Why don't you tell me some? Did you know Chicago is called the Windy City, but not because it's very windy? No, Cherry, I did not know that actually. If it's not called that because it's very windy, then why is it called the Windy City? It's actually called that because there were a lot of messed up politicians that lied a lot. And when people were lying, they were called being windy. So Chicago is called the Windy City now. Interesting, Cherry. Well, why don't you go fly on and go look for something? I think there's mulberries in the grass over there. Yeah, go eat them. Well, I guess Chicago isn't called a windy city because it's very windy. It's actually called that because some people who used to live in Chicago were very famous lied a lot. And when people are lying, they're called windy or full of hot air. So now, still today, Chicago is called the Windy City. There are also many train stations and a village on the outskirts of Chicago. In these villages, you can board one of the trains to Chicago and see the many beaches on Lake Michigan. White sand and fun in the sun are just 40 minutes away if you take the train. Not because it's far, but because the train stops so much. I found mulberry! Yes, mulberries are very delicious. They have many mulberry trees here, especially in the woods. When a bird eats a mulberry seed, and then they poop, the mulberry seed lands in the dirt. It comes out the other end, after passing through a bird's digestive system. The seed may grow into a new mulberry tree. This happens a lot. If you live near Chicago, or anywhere in the North USA, and you ever see purple bird droppings on your car, it's probably because a bird ate some mulberries. Seeds in these droppings, as soon as they touch the soil, will be fertilized by the bird dung and grow a new mulberry tree. And while it might not sound too clean, as the tree grows and the seed and everything washes away over many years and it produces berries, the berries are perfectly clean and safe to eat as long as you wash them off to make sure insects or lawn and garden sprays are not on them. Bye-bye! We hope you enjoyed this video, this nice episode 1 of Toucan Travels, the suburbs and outskirts of Chicago. Did you enjoy season 1, episode 1 of Toucan Travels? In today's episode, we learned all about the Windy City and the outskirts, villages, and suburbs around it, and many things about the environment, nature, food, art, culture, and other fun facts about Chicago and its Lake Michigan beaches. It was very fun, and we had a great day with Cherry the Toucan. What'd you say? No, I was just talking to them. So, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you liked this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Toucan Travels, on YouTube, where me and the narrator and Cherry the Toucan here will take you all around the world, mainly cities and places in the United States, where you can learn a lot of fun facts about them. I can't wait to see you on the next episode, and we hope you enjoyed Season 1, Episode 1 of Toucan Travels, Chicago's Outskirts and Villages. Goodbye!